Happier times indeed. Charlie Kirk with his friend David Engelhardt. David is on the board of directors at Turning Point USA. He is a man of faith, deep faith, and also an attorney. And he joins us now to talk about Charlie, his relationship. David, first of all, this is the country is lost, but yours especially. You were close. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you, Greg. It's a very painful 24 hours for me and my family, my church that deeply loved Charlie. And we want to, first of all, say that our prayers are with his wife, Erica, and their children, their babies, and the Turning Point USA staff who are reeling over this. And they're losing not just a friend or a boss, but a national hero. And a hero is courageous and sacrificial and a leader. And that's exactly what Charlie was, Greg.
How did you first get to know him?
In the summer of 2020, Erica, who had been a friend of mine and my wife Bethany's, reached out and said that you have to talk to Charlie about what's going on in America. And as you remember, 2020 in New York City, there was such a crisis of COVID and BLM, and we were standing against the barrage of progressive ideology that said that there's an oppressor class, an oppressed class, and we were rejecting that. And our church went down to the double digits, and Charlie grabbed my hand and brought me on a show, and then said, David, I want you to start traveling the country with me and sharing with young people about God's way and truth and order and justice and freedom the right way, not from this kind of oppressive binary, but that we were made in the image and likeness of God, and that we can follow his order and bring flourishing and beauty to our families. And Charlie and I became great friends, a deep friendship built over the next 5 years. He asked me to be a part of the board of Turning Point USA, and one of the greatest honors of my life has been to serve Charlie and the board. And that's how we met initially, and we spent the next 4 to 5 years together.
So look, we're going to ask you to share your services with us a little bit. I mean, I know folks, and you're more steeped in the word than I am. I'm trying, and I'm on a journey, a faith journey, but you are way further along than I am. Can you help us make sense of this? You know, I mean, I guess the proverbial question, and it applies here, why do bad things happen to good people?
Greg, first of all, I thank you for asking that question, and that seems to be avoided. Like, people don't want to talk about it, but I first want to say that Christianity is the only religion in the world that promises bodily resurrection. It's the core of the Christian belief that Jesus died and rose again. It's not nirvana that you meditate your way into peace. It's not Islam that you do many good works. Christianity says that if you will place your trust in Jesus Christ, then you will, though you die, you will live. And that's what Charlie believed deeply. And we know that Charlie is with Christ right now, and that we will meet him again. Again, the only religion in the history of the world that promises bodily resurrection, where we will meet with the dead in the living. Do we know why? We don't. And it's foolish and arrogant for us to say, yeah, I know exactly why God did this. I do know that Charlie's life will be a seed. John 12:24 says that unless a seed goes into the ground and dies, it doesn't bear fruit. And I know that Charlie's life is going to bear a multitude of fruit. There will be hundreds and thousands of Charlie Kirks across the United States that live like him, that declare truth like him, that stand for beauty like him, because of what he sacrificed and the courage that he stood for.
Thank you. And can I ask you another question along these lines? And I know the answer, but I need to hear your answer. I know the answer, but it's still hard. There's a contradiction, but I know it can be reconciled. We feel grief, especially those who are very close to him, his family and everything, but everybody feels grief right now. And some people feel enormous pain. Yet, as you said, we know he's with Jesus, which is awesome. So why are we? You know what I'm dealing with here, and I get both. I do, but I'm sure that people have raised this with you before. Can you talk us through that, please?
Yeah, the Bible in Luke chapter 11, Jesus says to all of the believers, pray this prayer: Our Father who's in heaven, hallowed be your name. And then he says, let your kingdom come, and let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And that tells us something very important, that the will of God is not always being brought forth on earth as it is in heaven, as God's will. God doesn't will Charlie Kirk to die. God doesn't will evil things to happen. But it does, in fact, happen unless the people in this realm, in this time, in this space, stand up and stand for truth and virtue and beauty in the midst of the horror that's around us. So that's the paradox that we find ourselves in, the paradox of darkness and evil and wickedness that is so great it makes people turn from God. And then on the other hand, the beauty and potentiality of life that can say, no, we can persuade a generation. And that's what Charlie did. He was going to college campuses with thousands and 10,000s of young people that were being persuaded by truth and beauty and virtue in God's way. And how do we reconcile that? We can't, not in this life, but we can do what Jesus did and say, God, let your kingdom come and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Well, I'm glad I asked you. Thank you very much for helping us understand. David Engelhardt, we thank you. And I have another question for you, if you don't mind. What's up with the green Yankee hat? We love the Yankees. President Trump is at Yankee Stadium. It's not St. Patrick's Day. What's going on there?
Well, first of all, I was so happy that the Yankees honored Charlie yesterday with their tribute to him in Yankee Stadium. It's such a anti-polarizing effect on the people of America that such a heroic young man could stand up for truth and beauty. And, green is representative of new life. And I do deeply believe that Charlie's passing will bring new life to our nation and echo through the nations of the world. And I know it's silly, but Charlie was a massive sports fan. He was the captain of his basketball team and the captain of his football team. And what does that mean? That means the people that were around him loved him, even if he wasn't, in accordance with their political beliefs or however you want to say that. He was a hero and people wanted to champion him. And there's something about competition and sports and being right and fighting for what you believe in. I don't know if it has to do with the hat, but God bless Charlie.
God bless Charlie. David Engelhardt. God bless you. I hope I'm authorized to say that. I think Charlie Kirk, longtime friend, great man of faith, and Turning Point USA. We thank you very much.
One more thing, Greg, if you don't mind. If you're impacted by this message, please donate and give to tpusa.com, Turning Point USA. It's impacting hundreds of thousands of student lives and supporting Charlie Kirk's family. This is the time to support at any amount. Please give and fuel the mission that Charlie lived for and died for. Be blessed.
Thank you for yes, indeed. tpusa.com, Turning Point USA, but online, turningpointusa.com. And David Engelhardt, thank you very much. To be continued, and we'll be right back.
Thank you, Greg.